So I'm here with Jennifer Lemerand. She is a creative director. She's also the founder of the Chicago chapter of SheSays, and she's on the board of AIGA Chicago. It's a design organization, and she's running the mentor program. It's me. Hi, Jennifer.
Hi, Silvana.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Tell me a little bit about SheSays and what is SheSays and what are you doing with that?
SheSays is an organization. It's a mentorship and networking platform for women and men in creative. I started the Chicago chapter about 5 years ago when I was promoted to creative director. Found out that only 3% of CDs are women. I personally was looking for a mentor program for myself, came across SheSays, and they didn't have a presence in Chicago, and so they said, well, why don't you start it? I dove in, and to date, I think we've had 30 plus events, whether it's a panel event or a mentor roundtable, and they're all different topics.
I've been to a few of them, and I've gained so much value and met incredible people.
I feel like we really pride ourselves on making sure that the environment feels approachable.
So I know you are open to men joining, but I've seen way more women on your events and interested in getting involved. Why is it so important to have a community like that for them?
At first it was strictly women. I was looking at all of our panelists being women, advertising to women. I wasn't necessarily saying no men allowed, but the community was really built on the foundation of women needing a place to be able to nurture their leadership skills. After some time though, I started to realize we also need to be inclusive of men and include them in the conversation. Some men don't see the challenges that we have as women, especially in advertising and creative. Some are really fantastic advocates for us, and that's where I've started and said, please join us. At the end of the day, it's about working together and making sure it's equal across the board.
So great.
Thanks.
I love that. And why do you think it's so important to have equal?
You're going to have a better work environment. You'll be doing better business. There's been a lot of studies that have shown that companies that have women in stronger leadership roles have better results across the board. Sometimes it's just not thought about. I've had conversations about, say, speakers at a conference. I've gone to some where I've been really disappointed that all of the speakers are all men and pretty much all white men. And it's not just men and women, and it is also about inclusivity and diversity and making sure that that's also considered. It's a big part of the picture, and it's something that I've personally been striving really hard for with my panels that I've been creating and just the speakers that we bring in, because it represents who we are as a community.
That's so amazing and fantastic. I love that you're actually speaking up about it and not just because it's really easy to get angry at the situation.
Absolutely.
and then hold that in and sit inside and be angry about it, but you're using your voice and you're deciding that no, it's not okay, and I'm gonna do something about it, which I admire so much.
Every event that we have, every topic, every speaker, I'm always learning something with each time, right? So I want to say it was about 3 years ago, I organized a panel. I was like, all right, I have 4 spots. At the end of the day, I sat and I realized I had 4 blonde white women. I was really disappointed in myself that I was really working hard to have a broad perspective in terms of where they were coming from and the type of work that they were doing, but there was more to it, and I got called out for it. She's a black woman, and has been a very, very significant part of SheSays, and she's really helped me develop and understand how to even talk about this, because I'm still learning and still figuring out how to talk about inclusivity and making sure that we are collectively conscientious about it. And I'm not just putting somebody in because of their background and their ethnicity, but it really also helps tell the bigger picture.
I just love that you actually talking about it and being aware. You're like aware of it and you're talking about it. You discuss with people in your community. You're taking the feedback. You really like questioning it yourself and how to do it better. And I think that's so important that we keep questioning. Really learning from someone else's perspective is so important. And I love that you're doing that. I think that's probably one of the biggest reasons why your events are so successful and people are really drawn to you and the She Says event.
Thank you.
This is great. No, thank you. Thank you for doing this. This is great. I love She Says. What does femininity mean to you?
I think femininity is usually represented in beauty, but I also feel like it's also how you approach who you are, and that can be in looks, it can be how you are able to express yourself. For me, my femininity is found in my voice and being a strong, powerful woman in my work and what I do, and being sure that I'm an advocate for my own voice and then for others as well.
What do you think makes a woman beautiful?
I think having a strong, powerful voice and being courageous is what makes a woman the most beautiful.
What do you wish someone told you when you were a little girl?
I wish as a little girl that I had been I had a better understanding. I could really define who I am by my creativity and my, what at the time were hobbies. Take your passions and make sure that you turn them into who you are and let them really let you live.
Who's your female model and why?
One of my female role models has been a mentor through the She Says program, and that's Tulle. And she's been fantastic in terms of helping with the community and speaking on different topics. But personally for myself, she's really been I think a great spotlight for me that I'm leaning towards and has been a guiding light for me.
So if you could send a message to women out there, what would it be?
My message for women out there comes from my best friend. Her name's Kraylin. Shout out to Kraylin. But she has helped guide me in terms of who I am and what I represent, and that's what a best friend does. And she has told me to find 3 little words and what those represent to you. My 3 little words are courage, curiosity, and compassion. And I chose those because those are attributes that have helped me define who I am in my career, in my work, in my life. And they also help guide me and give me something to strive for. I think everybody should recognize and have something like that where they have their 3 little words as a mantra to help guide them.
You were tickling at one point.
I was trying to be as quiet as possible and I stopped so I couldn't hear you.
I didn't even notice.
And I need to put the camera, I think, up a little. It's not tight this way. I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna do this.